11. Don't lie to me. See cheating. Song Yunfei widened her eyes, struggling to follow his train of thought. She pointed a finger at the tip of her own nose. Me. Otherwise, how do you explain your recent changes? I. Song Yunfei looked both helpless and amused. I haven't. Chu Jinan watched her quietly, as if trying to see right through her. Song Yunfei felt her scalp prickle under his gaze, and her eyes involuntarily began to dart away. Just as she was thinking of how to explain, she suddenly heard Chu Jinan speak. Song Yunfei. Song Yunfei looked up and met his serious gaze. What's up? Chu Jinan said, if you found a better choice, you can tell me. But don't lie to me. Quote. Song Yunfei's heart skipped a beat. For a moment, she almost thought Chu Jinan knew she was the one who had been deceived. Song Yunfei forced a smile. You really hate being lied to, huh? Nobody likes being lied to. True. Song Yunfei laughed it off. You are overthinking it. How could I possibly lie to you? She raised 3 fingers in a vow. Really? If I lied to you, I. After thinking for a long time, Song Yunfei finally managed to produce a curse she could accept with relative ease. I'll be infertile for life. Chu Jinan's eyelid twitched. Song Yunfei blinked, the two of them staring at each other. She was very clear that Chu Jinan didn't like her. He just hated being deceived, and he especially hated being cheated on. He was already insecure because of poverty. If he couldn't even keep someone like her, wouldn't that make him seem like a complete failure? That also explained why, for the past half year or more, he had endured everything and waited on the original owner without complaint. Because apart from a sense of debt, he also had low self-esteem. Although some say a man's low self-esteem is his best dowry, his inferiority complex was self-inflicted. The more insecure he was, the more afraid Song Yunfei became. If the matter of her cheating on him were confirmed, Song Yunfei couldn't even imagine what slim chance of survival she'd have in the future. She grabbed Chu Jinan's hand and looked at him earnestly. Stop imagining things. I just feel like I was too immature before. Staying home idle every day, relying on you for everything. Starving myself these past few days, I accidentally brushed with death. So now I've come to my senses. I can't just rely on you alone. I need to take on responsibility too. We're both still young. If we work hard together, we'll buy a house and a car someday. We'll have everything. What's a mere air conditioner? Chu Jinan paused, tilting his head to look at this woman delivering her impassioned speech. Really? Under his direct stare, she guiltily averted her gaze, braced herself, and mumbled an MHM. Of course it is. Chu Jinan stared at her for a long time, impossible to tell whether he believed her or not. Only when she felt her scalp prickling under his gaze did Chu Jinan finally drop the topic. Eat breakfast first, we'll be late for work. Song Yunfei inwardly heaved a sigh of relief, nodding like a chick pecking at rice. She hurriedly sat back down to eat her breakfast. After breakfast, the two of them went downstairs. Chu Jinan wheeled out his little electric scooter. Even after charging all night, it had only reached 70%. Looking at this beat-up second-hand electric scooter, Song Yunfei couldn't help but feel a pang of sympathy for him. Once he gets his paycheck, we should go buy a new electric scooter first. Electric scooters are actually pretty good. At least when everyone else is stuck in traffic or squeezing onto buses, the scooter can zip through unimpeded. Chu Jinan dropped her off at the entrance of the property sales office and handed her back to her. Song Yunfei smiled and took it. Remembering something, she suddenly asked, will you come home for dinner after work tonight, or are you going to do food delivery? Chu Jinan said, I'll do food delivery first. Song Yunfei made an okay gesture. Got it, you can go. Chu Jinan gave a slight nod and rode off on his scooter. Watching his receding figure, Song Yunfei sighed inwardly. Having once been wealthy, his bearing was simply different. Bearing is a rather elusive thing, but some people, even when picking up trash, always stand out as different. Little Song, you're here early. A woman got out of a BMW parked nearby. It was the same woman who had been in the BMW yesterday. Song Yunfei finally remembered who she was. Wasn't she her colleague? Song Yunfei nodded. Morning. Seeing her take out and pin on her employee badge, Song Yunfei caught a glimpse of her name, Li Shan. Everyone called her Shanshan. Li Shan walked inside, saying, I just saw your boyfriend drop you off. Yeah, didn't your boyfriend drop you off too? Li Shan, that's different. Your boyfriend is handsome. Mine. She pursed her lips, looking somewhat disdainful, but remembering the man was right behind, she didn't finish the sentence. Chu Jinin's face flashed through Song Yunfei's mind, and she nodded in agreement. He is quite handsome. Li Shan's mouth twitched. This person really knows how to take a compliment and run with it. The two of them chatted intermittently as they entered the shop. 3 people had already arrived. They were gathered together gossiping. If someone wasn't there, they gossiped about that person. If everyone was present, they gossiped about the clients. Topics like a client buying a house for his mistress, only for the legal wife to sue and get the house back. A client bringing his mistress home for a threesome. A male model marrying a rich older woman and inheriting hundreds of millions after her death. Song Yunfei couldn't help but listen for a bit. Sure enough, there was always something more shocking. By the way, do you guys know about that Xiu Shuang? Someone whispered. What about Xiu Shuang? I know, last month, wasn't there that rich second-generation client? She got slept with for free for a month, only to find out he was a fake rich second general. Wow, she's still too young. How could anyone still fall for that trick? As they were talking, a woman who looked no more than 2 years older than Song Yunfei walked in the door. As soon as she arrived, the gossipers scattered. Song Yunfei also returned to her workstation and continued reviewing materials. At exactly 9:30, Manager Zhang Tao came downstairs to hold the meeting. It was the same routine as yesterday, review first, then shout slogans. So embarrassing. I don't want to do this anymore. After the torture ended, Manager Zhang Tao called Xiu Shuang into his office for a private talk. Everyone made faces at Xiu Shuang's retreating back, with a hint of schadenfreude. This workplace atmosphere could really be called terrible. Song Yunfei was sure that if she arrived a bit later, she'd become the subject of their gossip too. Taking advantage of the still weak sun, she picked up the flyers on the table and went outside to distribute them first. Arriving at a crowded area to hand out flyers, many people simply didn't take them, or took them and threw them on the ground. Some used them to fan themselves, others glanced at them briefly. All of this was within Song Yunfei's expectations. After all, that's exactly what she used to do when she received flyers. Indeed, how the tables have turned. She squatted by a utility pole at the roadside, looking at this unfamiliar world, feeling empty inside. Suddenly, her phone vibrated. She took it out and saw it was actually a message from Chu Jinin. To be precise, it was a transfer, 50 yuan. Song Yunfei stared at this 50 yuan transfer for a long while before slowly typing out a question mark. Chapter 12. First, replace this broken electric bike. Chu Jinin took a long time to reply to the message, sending back 3 words, buy milk tea. Song Yunfei was even more confused, but after thinking for a moment, she figured it was probably to celebrate her starting work, telling her to go drink milk tea. Seeing this 50 yuan, Song Yunfei found it amusing again. Who would have thought that the CEO from the book, who casually transferred millions or tens of millions, could now only earn 50 yuan? But remembering the culprit behind all this, the grin on her face faded. Just as she was about to get up and get back to work, her phone rang again. She fished it out and saw the contact name displayed as Mom. After a moment's thought, she answered the call. Hey, Mom. A woman's weary voice came from the other end. Fi, is work going smoothly? Song Yunfei glanced at the flyers in her hand and smiled. Smooth, just too busy. Mom, is everything okay at home? The original owner, afraid of being exposed, hadn't contacted home for half a year. A few times when the family had called, she had simply hung up. Your dad hasn't been well lately. I wanted you to call and talk him into going to the hospital for a checkup. He's so stubborn, won't listen to anything, and your phone was unreachable. Before Mother Song could finish, a man's voice came through. Why are you telling her all that? I'm perfectly fine. All you talk about is the hospital, the hospital. Do you have so much money it's burning a hole in your pocket? Hearing this, Song Yunfei sighed inwardly. The original owner had been vain since childhood, comparing stationery with others in elementary school, and competing over phones and brands in high school and university. Her parents were ordinary farmers, her mother farmed in the countryside, and her father worked in construction away from home. Most of their wages were spent on her, supporting her education and living expenses, never letting her go without. Though not as well off as her wealthy classmate, she was never left hungry. But she was never satisfied, finding all sorts of excuses to ask for money. If others bought name brands, she wanted them too. If others got new phones, she had to have one. She thought possessing these things would allow her to blend into those wealthy circles. But she didn't realize she was just a clown in their eyes. After graduation, she went straight to a big company like Yanjin, looking down on smaller firms. Even as just a photography assistant earning a little over 2,000 a month in C-City, not even enough for rent, she felt it gave her great face. This led to the bold idea she had later, after hitting Chu Jinan with her car. The original owner hadn't mentioned much about her parents, only remembering that her father seemed to have passed away. When they called asking her to come home, she didn't go, afraid her lies about her childhood sweetheart would be exposed. Thinking of this, Song Yunfei said into the phone, Mom, give the phone to Dad. Let me talk to him. Mother Song's voice immediately brightened with joy. All right, good. But Father Song said, I won't talk. Take it away. Why are you bothering her while she's at work? Song Yunfei said, Dad, go to the hospital for a checkup. Otherwise, I'll come home and take you there myself. Father Song immediately grew anxious. Why would you come back? Focus on your job. You finally got into a big company. Do well. Don't make personal calls at work. Though they weren't Song Yunfei's biological parents, she still felt a touch of emotion. Her own parents had died in an accident when she was 7, and she was raised by her grandmother. After her grandmother passed away, she never experienced familial concern again. For a moment, Song Yunfei's eyes grew slightly moist. She sniffled, trying to keep her tone normal, then be good and go to the hospital. Don't worry about the money. I'm in a big company now, I can earn money. Earning money isn't easy for you either. I see on TV that competition is fierce in big companies. Don't worry about home, your mom and I are fine. Song Yunfei said helplessly, Dad, just listen to me. Go for a checkup, okay? Mother Song also chimed in from the side, exactly. Our daughter is saying this. Do you really want her to come back and drag you there? Father Song was also exasperated, saying grumpily, fine, fine. I'll go, alright, you focus on work, don't run around unnecessarily. Only then did Song Yunfei smile, deal. As long as you go to the hospital, I won't run around. Remember to send me the test results. She chatted a bit more with the elderly couple before hanging up. Song Yunfei pulled herself together and continued handing out flyers. Whether for herself or for her parents in the countryside, she had to work hard to earn money. As someone walked by, she handed them a flyer. The person took it but didn't leave. Song Yunfei looked at him in surprise. He was a middle-aged man in his 40s, dressed in a suit and tie, slightly balding, with a briefcase tucked under his arm. He scrutinized the flyer intently, sometimes frowning, sometimes sighing. Song Yunfei immediately perked up, putting on a professional smile. Hello, sir. Are you interested in our Riverside Estates property? The man shook his head disappointedly. The location is a bit remote. Which school district is this property zoned for? Hearing his accent, Song Yunfei paused, then felt a surge of joy. This person wanted to buy a school district home. She quickly explained, our project is zoned for the new district experimental school, which is currently under construction. It's a key-supported middle school and will officially enroll students next September. Many parents are attracted to the teacher allocation and hardware facilities of newly built schools like this. It's also our best-selling property currently. She glanced at the man's expression, seeing some hesitation, and continued. Metro Line 8 will open here next year, with a station about 600 meters from our community entrance. There's also a new park nearby, and various commercial supporting facilities will be gradually completed. And I can also apply for a decoration design plan for you. She rambled on a bit before the man interrupted her. I have things to do today. When I have time, you can take me to see it. Song Yunfei eagerly agreed, pulling out her business card and handing it to him. Of course. Here's my card. Could you leave me your number as well? The man initially wanted to refuse, but seeing Song Yunfei's hopeful gaze, he gave his number. Song Yunfei pressed, when would you be free, sir? I'll call you then. The weekend. All right, I'll contact you over the weekend. After asking for his name and saving his number, Song Yunfei smiled as she watched him leave. Seeing him get on a bus by the roadside, she felt a twinge of unease. Of course, it was also possible he wanted to buy a house first and hadn't bought a car yet, or had a car at home but didn't want to drive it. She couldn't judge his ability to buy based solely on him taking the bus. She could discuss it more when they met. Since he had given her his number, it meant he was interested in buying. Her job before crossing over was actually quite similar to selling houses, both requiring an understanding of the client's living needs. She was, after all, the company's top designer. As long as the other party agreed to meet, she was quite confident she could make the sale. Song Yunfei happily continued distributing flyers. Perhaps because she was smiling, passers-by were willing to take them, though whether they looked at them was another matter. As she was almost finished, a Porsche stopped in front of her. A young man leaned out of the car, grinning at her. Hey, beautiful, give me a card. I want to buy a place too. Song Yunfei glanced at him. He was under 30, average looking, with a common face. She still handed him a business card. The man took the card, chuckled, and drove off. After finishing the flyers, Song Yunfei returned to the shop and started making calls. The whole day yielded nothing. Either no one answered, or they weren't interested. She wasn't discouraged, though. After finishing the calls, she clocked out and went to catch the bus. She still had groceries from yesterday she hadn't cooked, so she didn't need to buy any today. Normally, Chu Jinan delivered takeout until 1 or 2 in the morning, so she couldn't wait up that late. She started cooking at 12. With the hot weather, it would be just right for him to eat when he got back. To her surprise, he came back at 12:30. Song Yunfei was a bit taken aback. Perfect timing. I just finished cooking. Have you eaten? Chu Jinan, taking off his delivery uniform, walked inside. No. Then go wash your hands quickly. Dinner's ready. Soon after, Chu Jinan came out wearing a shirt and sat at the small dining table. Song Yunfei suddenly remembered something. Oh, right. Can I borrow your electric bike on Saturday? Chu Jinan looked up at her. Where are you going? Song Yunfei smiled. I need to pick up a client to show them a house. Sold one already. That fast? Not yet. Have to take them to see it first. He's probably looked at quite a few places. Not sure if I can close the deal. Chu Jinan nodded and said nothing more. Song Yunfei was feeling hopeful. If I can sell it, there's at least tens of thousands in commission. Then first, we'll replace this broken electric bike of yours, and get an air conditioner and washing machine. Chu Jinan paused briefly, didn't speak, and just kept eating. They finished the meal quietly. Chu Jinan went to wash the dishes, and Song Yunfei went to shower. Lying in bed, she took out her phone, waiting for her hair to dry, and added a memo for herself. Chu Jinan also showered. When he came out, he looked at Song Yunfei lying on the bed, hesitated for a moment, but still walked over. Both leaned against the bed. The fan whirred as it turned. All the lights in the room were off except for the small bedside lamp. Song Yunfei played on her phone, while he picked up a book and started flipping through it. Song Yunfei glanced at him in surprise. So there really were people who read books before bed. She moved closer a bit, catching a glimpse of the page's contents. It seemed to be a business biography. You actually read this kind of thing? A faint scent of shampoo drifted over. Chu Jinan instinctively turned to look at her. Her damp hair strands fell on his arm, creating a ticklish sensation. Before he could speak, an untimely sound suddenly came from next door. It was Wang Yi and his wife, engaging in their bedtime activities. The walls were too thin. Besides Li Zhao's voice, the faint sound of the headboard hitting the wall could even be heard. Chapter 13. My boyfriend is, of course, the best. In the midst of this awkward atmosphere, Song Yunfei stared at the words on the book page, not daring to look up. She instinctively held her breath, wishing she could vanish on the spot, hating herself for not going to sleep earlier. Chu Jinan stared at her lowered head, her loose hair, the glimpse of her collar, his thin lips pressed tightly together, and his fingers holding the book also tightened a bit. Until the sounds from next door grew louder and louder. A man's slightly hoarse voice came from above Song Yunfei's head, killing time. Song Yunfei was taken aback for a moment, raising her head in confusion to meet his deep gaze. It took her several seconds to realize he was answering the question she had just asked. Song Yunfei averted her eyes and let out an, "Oh," picking up the conversation in an attempt to ease the awkwardness. What's written in this book? Inspirational success stories. Not exactly. It's about a person who seized opportunities during industry shifts several times. Then he must be quite impressive. When the wind rises, even pigs can fly, Chu Jinan said calmly, with a faint hint of disdain. However, as if remembering he was just a lowly delivery guy, he added, he does have some skill. Then he's definitely not as good as you. You believe in me that much? Of course, yo. Song Yunfei almost let it slip. She coughed, her words taking a turn. You're my boyfriend, of course you're the best. He lowered his gaze, looking at the serious Song Yunfei with an inscrutable expression. You never used to praise me like this before. Song Yunfei closed her eyes in frustration. She should have known better than to make idle conversation. The original owner used to subject him to emotional manipulation daily. Who knows where she learned it? For example, you are almost 30 and still this poor. Besides me, what woman would look at you? I'm the only one who doesn't look down on you. What's the use of studying abroad? Nowadays, a whole bunch of masters and PhDs can't find jobs, they're all delivering food. Don't aim too high, having a job is good enough. All my classmates married into wealthy families. They're responsible for being beautiful, shopping, and playing cards every day, they never have to work. Stop looking at those useless stocks. You weren't born with the fate to get rich. If you lose everything, we'll be sleeping on the streets. With your meager income, you still want to speculate on stocks. Don't be so naive, okay? Those who cherish their wives prosper, those who mistreat their wives lose all wealth. So, you have to treat me well to make big money. And so on, there were just too many examples. She took advantage of Chu Jinan's amnesia and the fact he had no one else, trying to pressure him and create anxiety, making him dependent on her so he would fall in love with her. A pity, she used it on the wrong person. It might have worked a little at the beginning, but over time, Chu Jinan became immune to it. Chu Jinan wasn't that fragile a person deep down. Song Yunfei sighed. She couldn't keep thinking about this. Every time she thought about the original owner's actions, she felt her death was imminent. Song Yunfei forced a cheerful smile. I've reformed now, haven't I? Chu Jinan looked at her deeply, his eyes complex and hard to decipher. He didn't press further, just closed the book, placed it on the nightstand, and said calmly, "Sleep." He reached out and turned off the desk lamp, plunging the room into instant darkness. A rustling sound came from beside her as Chu Jinan lay down. Song Yunfei also lay back down, staring at the pitch-black ceiling, her heart uneasy and making it hard to sleep. The fan was still spinning, the breeze it brought carrying a wave of stifling heat. The sounds from next door continued. Perhaps influenced by them, her senses became extremely sharp. The scent of shower gel emanating from both of them also took on a more ambiguous note. Suddenly, Chu Jinan's voice came again from the darkness. "Did you throw the thing away?" Song Yunfei's heart skipped a beat. She feigned calmness and asked, "What thing?" "Condoms." Quote. "No, I haven't even seen them." "You have those. Where did you put them?" "Never mind." He seemed to turn over, falling completely silent. Song Yunfei's heart was in turmoil. Why was he asking about this out of the blue? Could it be that hearing the commotion next door, he was also getting ideas? Probably not. He was probably testing her again. She had been acting strangely these past 2 days. Chu Jinan suspected she was having an affair. If she really said she threw them away, it would only confirm his suspicion of infidelity. What a cunning man. He'd rather suspect her of cheating than believe she was a different person. For the next 2 days, Song Yunfei was even busier, making calls, handing out flyers, and memorizing materials every day. For some potential clients, she had to take detailed notes. She also added several people and had to send them messages from time to time to maintain contact. Chu Jinan also resumed his routine of delivering food until late at night, usually returning when Song Yunfei was already asleep. At those times, he could go sleep on the sofa, sparing himself the torment. On Saturday, after breakfast, Song Yunfei called that Mr. Chow. He actually agreed to go see the property with her. Song Yunfei was overjoyed, saying into the phone, "All right, Mr. Chow, I'll come pick you up in a bit." After hanging up, she turned and saw Chu Jinan sitting on the sofa, staring at her. She said to Chu Jinan, "Can I borrow the electric scooter this morning? You can go deliver food in the afternoon." Chu Jinan nodded, "Fine." But as if thinking of something, he spoke again, "I'll go with you." "You'll come with me." Saves power. His habit of being so terse often left Song Yunfei not understanding what he meant. She always needed a moment to process it. He probably meant he could ride it directly to deliver food in the afternoon, saving battery. Song Yunfei was both amused and exasperated. "You really do pinch every penny." Chu Jinan didn't explain, just picked up the scooter keys from the table. "Let's go." "Alrighty." The two of them went downstairs together, Song Yunfei sitting on the back of the electric scooter. Chu Jinan rode the scooter towards Mr. Chow's residence. The morning sun wasn't too strong, but it was still very hot. They started sweating not long after going out. When passing a particularly bumpy stretch of road, the jolting nearly threw Song Yunfei off several times. She had no choice but to wrap her arms around the man's waist in front of her. "Slow down. You are about to shake my internal organs loose." Feeling the softness pressing against his back, Chu Jinan's fingers gripping the handlebars tightened slightly. He said in a low voice, "I'm going very slow." "Fine." Song Yunfei also felt the speed wasn't fast, it was just the road being terrible. "Do you think I can succeed?" "Yes." "That's way too perfunctory." "No." Get lost. Furious, Song Yunfei pinched his waist. The muscles at Chu Jinan's waist instantly tensed, and the electric scooter suddenly wobbled uncontrollably, almost sending them crashing into the barbershop next to the road. Fortunately, Chu Jinan's superior skills stabilized the scooter. He said in a deep voice, "Stop messing around." Chapter 14. Let's break up, then. Song Yunfei was also frightened. She let out a small, "oh," and awkwardly withdrew her hand. After navigating out of that dilapidated road, the electric scooter finally stabilized. I didn't expect that delivering takeout these past few months would make you so familiar with all these roads. Song Yunfei was somewhat impressed by him. This road was clearly a shortcut. According to the navigation app's planned route, this wasn't the way at all. Chu Jinan didn't say anything either, focusing on riding. There weren't many cars on the road, possibly because it was a remote area. But Song Yunfei noticed a Bentley slowly approaching from behind. She couldn't help but glance at it a few more times. What she didn't expect was that after the Bentley drew level with their scooter, it slowed down. Chu Jinan noticed it too and turned his head to look. The passenger side window of the Bentley rolled down. A man in his 20s stuck his head out and waved his phone. "Hey beautiful, want to add me as a friend?" Seeing the mockery in the man's eyes, Song Yunfei snorted and turned her head away, refusing to look at him. Seeing that she was ignoring him, the man sneered and cursed under his breath, calling her a poser. Song Yunfei sensed Chu Jinan's body tense up, the veins on his forearms bulging, as if he might snap at any moment. Her heart tightened. She hugged his waist tighter and whispered, "Ignore him. Let's just go on our way." Probably feeling slighted, the man persisted relentlessly, keeping pace with the scooter. "Beautiful, isn't it hot riding on this crappy scooter? Want me to give you a lift?" As soon as the words left his mouth, Chu Jinan abruptly squeezed the brakes. The electric scooter came to a steady stop by the roadside. He shot a cold glare towards the Bentley. But the Bentley didn't stop, it drove right past him. The person in the passenger seat gave him the middle finger and mocked, "Looks like you're not happy, buddy. Got the guts to chase us and fight." After he spoke, a burst of raucous laughter erupted from inside the car. It seemed there were more than just two people. The electric scooter stood alone by the roadside. The Bentley sped off into the distance, kicking up a wave of hot air that made her and Chu Jinan look like a pair of fools. Song Yunfei tugged at the corner of his shirt, trying to calm him. "Don't stoop to their level. That car is definitely rented to show off. Truly rich people wouldn't be so bored." Chu Jinan's face showed no expression. He glanced sideways at Song Yunfei. "You know this so well." Song Yunfei said, "Would a rich person act like he's never seen a woman before? That car is absolutely rented. So that's why you didn't add him as a friend." Song Yunfei was stunned again. His train of thought was truly unbeatable. She said irritably, "Is that how you see me? Someone who shamelessly latches onto anyone with money?" Chu Jinan didn't speak, just kept staring at her. Song Yunfei lost her temper. Fine, the original owner was probably like that. Otherwise, Chu Jinan wouldn't be here riding an electric scooter. A thought struck Song Yunfei. She immediately glared at him. "Since you think that way, then let's break up." After saying this, she angrily turned her head away, but her peripheral vision was focused on his reaction. If it wouldn't provoke him too much, taking this chance to break up wouldn't be bad. Chu Jinan's face still showed no expression. Then he blurted out, "You finally said it." Song Yunfei was taken aback. Chu Jinan continued, "Who is that man?" Quote question mark quote. "Are you crazy?" Song Yunfei was truly speechless. This was the first time she'd seen someone so eager to put horns on their own head. "Is he very rich?" Quote. Song Yunfei couldn't take it anymore. Furious, she said, "Yes. He's richer than you, handsomer than you, more considerate than you. Are you satisfied now? So, let's break up. From now on, you go your way, and I'll go mine. Goodbye." Fuming, Song Yunfei got off the electric scooter and started walking ahead. Psycho, why does he always think she's cheating? Chu Jinan didn't chase after her. He stood by the scooter, watching her angry retreating figure. The sun grew hotter, almost directly overhead. Song Yunfei hadn't walked for long before she was drenched in sweat, feeling dizzy from the sun. This damn place doesn't even have taxis. She took out her phone to check the map and realized she wasn't far from Mr. Chow's place, just another 10 minutes or so of walking. But she had overestimated her physical stamina. In less than 10 minutes, she couldn't walk any further. She was just thinking of finding a shady spot to rest for a moment. But when she turned her head, she saw a familiar electric scooter catching up and stopping right in front of her. Song Yunfei glanced at him. Why did you follow me? Chu Jinan stared at her for a moment before speaking. I misunderstood you. Seeing him apologize, Song Yunfei's expression softened considerably. She hadn't originally wanted to use this reason to break up. She had already deceived him so badly, giving him greenhorns on top of that. When he regained his memory, she wouldn't even need to go to jail, she could just log off directly. Walking on the road just now, she had already felt a bit of regret. Now that he was actively offering a way out, Song Yunfei definitely had to take it. However, her tone remained somewhat stiff. So now you think it was a misunderstanding? Chu Jinan said, I meant to say, if you found a better choice, you can tell me directly. No need to hide it. I'll let you go. Before Song Yunfei could flare up, he continued, if you haven't, then don't talk about breaking up. Song Yunfei looked at him suspiciously and asked uncertainly, what do you mean? Can't bear to part with me? Chu Jinan said, not that. I'm afraid you'll starve to death. You, Song Yunfei took a deep breath and forced a smile. Are you saying I can't survive without you? Chu Jinan sighed softly, his gaze at her growing more complex. He spoke slowly, since you sacrificed so much for me, I should take responsibility for you to the end. Whether it's helping you find a better person or ensuring you can live independently. If you insist on separating, at least wait until you have a stable job. It was rare for him to say so much. As Song Yunfei listened, the expression on her face gradually faded. Looking into the man's earnest gaze, her own feelings grew complicated. It had to be said, he really was a good man. Even when his girlfriend wanted to break up with him, he was still thinking about her. If the original owner hadn't deceived him, who knows how happy she could have been. After these past 6 months of interaction, the original owner probably wished more than anyone that the lies she'd fabricated could become reality. Even Song Yunfei herself, at this moment, also. She smiled helplessly. A fake was ultimately a fake, it could never become real. The day the truth came out would be her real death day. That was the real truth. Seeing her silent, Chu Jinan took a cup of milk tea from the storage box and handed it to her. Song Yunfei stared at the milk tea, stunned. When did you buy this? Just now. So the reason it took you so long to catch up was because you went to buy milk tea. Chu Jinan nodded slightly. I happened to see it while passing by. Song Yunfei felt quite touched inside. After walking for so long, she was indeed thirsty. She took the milk tea and started drinking. After a couple of sips, she got back on the electric scooter. Let's consider this matter closed. We're making up. You're not allowed to suspect me of cheating anymore. Chu Jinan was silent for a moment, then grunted in agreement. Chapter 15. You're done for. The two of them walked in silence the whole way, finally arriving at the place where Mr. Chow lived. This was an old residential area, even older than the one they currently lived in. It couldn't really be called a residential area anymore, it was more like a village, adjacent to the city but not within it. The place was full of 1 or 2 story self-built houses, and there were even some earthen structures. Even before entering the area, they could see the large character for demolish painted on the walls. This place is being demolished. Song Yunfei said in surprise. Shouldn't there be compensation housing for a demolition? Chu Jinan also surveyed the surroundings and said thoughtfully, it's probably a choice between replacement housing or a cash settlement. I see. Song Yunfei didn't know much about these things, but since that Mr. Chow wanted to buy a house, he must have chosen the cash settlement. Since these houses were to be demolished, they were definitely going to buy one, it was just a matter of from whom. Thinking of this, Song Yunfei felt much better, even the sun in the sky didn't feel so hot anymore. After the call connected, Mr. Chow told her to wait for a while at the village entrance. Song Yunfei agreed. After hanging up, she looked at Chu Jinan. By the way, when I take him to see the house later, what are you going to do? Chu Jinan said, don't you still have to bring him back? I'll just wait here for you. Song Yunfei thought about it. It was a good idea. When she came back later, she could even have him take her to the subway station. Not long after, Mr. Chow came down. He was followed by a middle-aged woman and their 2 children. Song Yunfei was stunned. The family of 4 opposite was equally stunned when they saw the little electric scooter. This family had obviously assumed she would come by car to pick them up, but they hadn't expected a little electric scooter. Awkward as it was, she still steeled herself and stepped forward. Hello, Mr. Chow. This must be Mrs. Chow. Mr. Chow looked displeased and gave a reluctant nod. Mrs. Chow also forced a slight upturn of her lips, which could be considered a smile. Song Yunfei maintained her smile. My apologies, it's my fault for not communicating clearly beforehand. The city traffic is terrible, and I was afraid of wasting your precious time, so I rode an electric scooter to get here. The boy, around 10 years old, said, riding an electric scooter in such hot weather. He curled his lip and said with a lack of interest, I'm not going. Song Yunfei smiled. Yes, the temperature is quite high today, but it wasn't so hot this morning. How about this? I'll call a taxi for you all. It's only a few minutes away. The focus today is on seeing the house. The mode of transportation is a minor detail. Finding the right house is what's important, don't you agree? Mrs. Chow was clearly the one in charge in this family. She sighed. All right then, we'll wait a bit. Seeing her relent, Song Yunfei immediately struck up a conversation. Mrs. Chow, you look so elegant. Do you work at a bank? This flattery hit the mark. Mrs. Chow even straightened her posture noticeably. Mr. Chow beside her introduced with a smile, my wife is a Fusi Zhang. Song Yunfei was shocked. Deputy Mayor. My apologies, my eyesight is poor. I actually didn't recognize Mayor Chow. Mrs. Chow was amused by her. What Mayor Chow? I'm a nurse supervisor, a head nurse at the hospital. Song Yunfei's complimentary words caught in her throat. She almost bit her tongue. Honestly, Mr. Chow's accent was way off. Young lady, your judgment isn't great. Do I look like a big shot leader with this kind of demeanor? Mrs. Chow said, shooting a glare at her husband. Mr. Chow scratched his head and gave an embarrassed smile. My fault, my fault. My Mandarin isn't standard. Song Yunfei gave an awkward smile. Of course you do. The moment I saw you, I was awed by your presence. Hearing Mr. Chow's words, I didn't doubt it for a second. I never expected you were actually an angel in white. Her stream of flattery lightened the mood, and the earlier displeasure had already vanished. Chu Jinan quietly watched her buttering people up from the side, an inscrutable look in his eyes. Before long, the taxi arrived. Song Yunfei considerately opened the car door for them. After the family of 4 got in, she looked at Chu Jinan again. You go with them first. I'll ride the scooter. All right, then be careful yourself. With that, she got into the taxi. Chu Jinan followed on the electric scooter, but his little scooter couldn't keep up with the taxi's speed, and they soon lost sight of each other. However, as he rode through a certain alley, he suddenly stopped. Turning his head, he saw a man in the alley to the left. This man was blocking a woman's path. Why have you been avoiding me these past few days? I told you, my dad froze my card. I'm not lying to you. Don't worry, once my card is unfrozen, I'll buy 10 apartments right away, okay? As he spoke, he reached out to put his arm around the woman's shoulders. Come on, let's go eat. Tonight, I'll take you to meet some friends, introduce you to some big clients. The woman looked at him with disgust, raising her hand to swat his away. Stop lying to me. I saw you going to the car rental place. Wu Wei, if you keep bothering me, I'll call the police. The man named Wu Wei clicked his tongue impatiently. Don't you know that car rental place is mine? If you don't believe me, I'll take you there right now. I'll show you the business license. Hearing this, the woman hesitated again, looking at Wu Wei with a mixture of doubt and belief. Watching this scene, Chu Jinan's eyes held a hint of something subtle. He silently got off the electric scooter. Well, what a small world. If Song Yunfei were here, she would definitely recognize these two. One was her colleague Xiao Shuang, and the other was that man who had tried to pick her up in the Bentley before. Xiao Shuang was still hesitating, but, my colleague said. Wu Wei cut her off. Those colleagues of yours are just fucking jealous. Don't listen to those gossipy bitches. They can't stand to see you're doing well, they just want to break other people up. Now come with me to the car place. Ah! Before he could finish his sentence, a sudden impact hit his backside, sending him stumbling forward towards Xiao Shuang. Xiao Shuang gasped in surprise and instinctively dodged to the side. Wu Wei screamed as he fell face first onto the ground, eating dirt. What the fuck? Who is it? He turned his head angrily and saw a man in a white shirt looking down at him from above. The man was tall and imposing. His gaze was lowered, his eyes utterly calm and filled with utter contempt. To be honest, that look and the aura he exuded genuinely intimidated Wu Wei for a couple of seconds. It's you. Wu Wei recognized him and was instantly both shocked and furious. You fucking have a death wish. Chu Jinan stepped forward slowly, his face expressionless as he spoke. Caught up with you. Catch up with your mom. Let me tell you, you're done for. Wu Wei cursed as he scrambled up from the ground. Do you know who my father is? The moment he stood up, Chu Jinan raised his foot and kicked him in the knee. Wu Wei screamed and fell back to the ground. Chu Jinan took 2 steps forward and stepped on the hand Wu Wei had used to hold his phone earlier. Wu Wei howled in pain, trying to break free, but his strength was like an ant trying to shake a tree in front of this tall man. Go on, tell me, who is your father? Wu Wei choked. Before he could figure out what to say, another wave of excruciating pain shot through his hand, and he instantly wailed. Say it. Chapter 16, Probably Heat Stroke. His composure was too complete, making Wu Wei's heart quail. Had he provoked some incredibly powerful figure? An ordinary person hearing his words would have at least weighed the situation or asked for clarification first. Who would directly resort to violence and still be this calm? He didn't seem like a hothead, so he must have some status. My dad owns a supermarket. Wu Wei wailed. Big target. Supermarket. By the end, even Wu Wei lacked conviction in his own words. Xiao Shuang, who had been stunned beside them, snapped back to reality. Isn't that just a convenience store? Wu Wei's face flushed crimson, unsure if it was from pain or humiliation. He was used to boasting, but now, uncertain of the man's identity, he dared not make up any lies and could only tell the truth. Meanwhile, Song Yunfei had brought the family of 4 to the residential complex. After expending immense effort to persuade, to convince them, both the husband and wife showed interest. However, they still said they needed to think it over. Through indirect probing, Song Yunfei figured it out. The couple were likely waiting for their demolition compensation to come through. They were also afraid the property might be a stalled project or something similar, hence the need for further consideration. Song Yunfei didn't push further. Showing too much eagerness would only breed suspicion and resentment in the other party. Leaving the complex, Song Yunfei hailed a taxi for them and said with a smile, "Please go back and think it over. I'll do my best to reserve a design plan slot for you too." Mrs. Chow asked hesitantly, "How long can you reserve it?" They were quite interested in the design plan. Hiring someone outside would cost several thousand for just a basic one. Of course, if they had no specific requirements for the layout, a design plan wouldn't be necessary. Clearly, this Mrs. Chow valued quality of life and wanted the renovation to look aesthetically pleasing. Just as Song Yunfei was about to answer, her phone suddenly rang. She told them, "It's hard to say. Many people want it. The most I can do is try to reserve it for you for half a month." Mrs. Chow wanted to ask for more time, but seeing Song Yunfei's phone ringing, she didn't press further. Just then, the taxi arrived, and the family of four got in. After answering the call, a serious voice came through, "Hello, is this Song Yunfei? This is the Dongcheng police station." Song Yunfei hung up, took a taxi, and hurried to the police station. As soon as she entered, she saw Chu Jinan calmly sitting in the mediation room. Across from him was a man with a bruised and swollen face who looked somewhat familiar. Besides him, there was another familiar person, Xiu Shuang. Xiu Shuang looked surprised to see her too. After understanding the situation, she learned he had acted bravely to uphold justice, just that his methods were a bit heavy-handed. With Xiu Shuang as a witness here and Wu Wei unwilling to press charges, they just had her sign some papers to take him away. It wasn't that Wu Wei didn't want to press charges, he just didn't dare to, for now. Not knowing the other man's identity, he could only accept his loss, as the aura emanating from Chu Jinan was overwhelmingly intimidating. Once outside, her gaze swept between Chu Jinan and Xiu Shuang. Xiu Shuang said, "Little Song, so Mr. Chu is your boyfriend. Thank him so much for today." Song Yunfei smiled, "No need to thank him. He just likes championing the weak and acting heroically." Xiu Shuang glanced at Chu Jinan, who stood silently to the side, not even looking her way. Xiu Shuang smiled, "Well, I still want to thank you both. I'll get going now. I'll treat you to a meal next time." "All right." Song Yunfei waved, "Bye." After Xiu Shuang left, Song Yunfei dropped her smile and shot a glance at the man beside her. "I didn't know you were so righteous. Was it because my colleague is pretty that you couldn't resist playing the hero to save the beauty?" Chu Jinan looked over with a deep gaze. "You didn't recognize that man?" Song Yunfei was taken aback. The image of the bruised and swollen man flashed in her mind. Beaten up like that, how could she possibly recognize him? She shook her head, "No idea." "Who is it?" Chu Jinan didn't plan to explain either. He turned and walked towards the electric scooter parked by the roadside. Song Yunfei grew anxious and hurried after him. Who is he? And why didn't he press charges after being beaten up like that? Could he have recognized him? That shouldn't be right. She searched her memories carefully. In the first 2 months after Chu Jinan disappeared, there wasn't much news online, let alone photos. Unless one deliberately searched, an ordinary person would never come across any information about him. Aside from those who knew him well, no one could possibly recognize his identity at a glance, right? Chu Jinan cut her off, getting on the electric scooter. "Don't know. Where are you planning to go now?" Song Yunfei also got on and checked the time on her phone. "It's almost noon. Let's go back to eat first." Chu Jinan nodded and drove the scooter away. The midday sun grew increasingly hot. Song Yunfei felt like she was wilting under the heat. Back at the rental, Song Yunfei thought about cooking, but once she lay down on the sofa, she couldn't get up. Seeing her lying on the sofa looking half dead, Chu Jinan rolled up his sleeves and headed into the kitchen himself. Song Yunfei watched his figure and quickly stretched out a hand to stop him. "Wait." Chu Jinan turned back, puzzled. "What's wrong?" Song Yunfei struggled up from the sofa. I'll do it. To be honest, aside from simple breakfasts, Chu Jinan's cooking couldn't be called bad, it was just edible. His culinary skills were mystifying. No matter what he made, it always reached a barely acceptable level. You couldn't say it was delicious, nor could you say it was terrible. It was simply beyond evaluation. Anyway, Song Yunfei had no idea how he managed to be so consistently stable. However, as Song Yunfei got halfway up, the world spun, and she collapsed weakly back down. Chu Jinan seemed to sense something was wrong and turned to approach her. What's the matter? Song Yunfei held her head, speaking feebly, I feel a bit dizzy. Chu Jinan moved her arm aside, leaned down slightly, and placed his palm on her forehead. His brows furrowed slightly. You have a fever. Song Yunfei stared in disbelief. How can you get a fever in such hot weather? Probably heat stroke. Chu Jinan pulled her up from the sofa. I'm taking you to the hospital. At this moment, Song Yunfei felt utterly weak and limp, easily pulled off the sofa by him. Song Yunfei said anxiously, we haven't eaten yet. Let's eat first, then go. I'm so hungry I have no strength. This isn't from hunger. Seeing her reluctant to move, Chu Jinan suddenly picked her up. What are you doing? Song Yunfei exclaimed, instinctively wrapping her arms around his neck, her cheek unavoidably pressing against his. Her warm breath sprayed onto Chu Jinan's skin, and his body stiffened slightly. Ignoring her, Chu Jinan carried her out. On the stairs, they ran into Li Zhao, who was coming up. Li Zhao paused, then a teasing smile appeared on her face. Oh, what are you two up to? Chu Jinan replied without changing expression, going to the hospital. Li Zhao's smile faded, sick. Then don't delay, go quickly. After saying that, she stepped aside to make way. At this hour, many people were going up and down the stairs. Song Yunfei felt utterly embarrassed, almost burying her entire head in Chu Jinan's chest. She whispered, I can walk myself. Put me down, I'll walk on my own. Chapter 17. I think I've heard the name Chu Jinan. We're here. Chu Jinan quickly went downstairs, placed her on the back seat of the electric scooter, and swung his leg over to mount it himself. Sit tight, don't fall off, he instructed Song Yunfei before starting the scooter. Song Yunfei hesitated for a moment, then reached out and wrapped her arms around his waist. The moment she touched his firm abdominal muscles, both of them stiffened slightly. Elsewhere, Wu Wei had also been led out of the police station by his father, gotten on a tricycle, and was now headed to the hospital. Although his face was bruised and swollen, he didn't feel the pain at the moment. His mind was completely occupied by Chu Jinan. He opened the 6-person group chat on his phone and asked inside, guys, do you know the name Chu Jinan? After a while, the group chat became active. Frog Prince, who's that? What does he do? Old 6, haven't heard of him. A love rival you messed with. Brother Dao, why are you asking about this guy? The group chatted away, but no one knew who Chu Jinan was. Rubbing the bruise on his face, Wu Wei fell into deep thought. Could it be that kid was just bluffing? Although these guys in the group weren't big shots in Qingcheng, they had been around long enough to know most of the important figures in the city, at least by name. Wu Wei didn't explain what had happened. Getting beaten up without being able to fight back was too humiliating to admit. He pondered to himself. It was very possible he was overthinking this. Damn it, if he's just some nobody, I have to get him back. He pressed the voice message button and spoke into his phone on the bumpy tricycle. Guys, that asshole stole my... Before the voice message finished, an incoming call interrupted his recording. Wu Wei answered the phone irritably. Third Wang, what the hell are you calling me for? Can't we talk in the group? This Third Wang was also in the group. Third Wang said mysteriously, bro, you know Chu Jinan. Wu Wei was taken aback. Hearing the surprise in the other's tone, A look of suspicion crossed his face. What, you know him too? I don't know him. I've heard of him. Wu Wei immediately perked up. He got too excited, pulling on the injury on his face, and hissed in pain. He hurriedly asked, "Where did you hear about him? What does he do?" Third Wang said, "I have a cousin. His family moved to Sea City, right? He works at the Yunjin Group now." Everyone knew how huge Yunjin was. And then, Wu Wei pressed. Third Wang told him that a few months ago, his cousin mentioned in the family group chat that their CEO seemed to have gone missing. All the top executives at their company were being investigated, and many people in the company had gotten wind of the news. And their CEO's name was Chu Jinan. Wu Wei's heart skipped a beat. Holy shit, you're not messing with me, are you? Is that for real? Are you sure it's the same person? Third Wang mused. I'm not sure either. I've never seen him. Do you have a photo of him? Send it to me, I'll show my cousin. Then we'll know. Wu Wei said, I don't. But I can get one. I'll send it to you later. Alright, send it to me. If it really is him, then we. Third Wang cut himself off mid-sentence. No matter how Wu Wei pressed him, he wouldn't say another word, finally hanging up in annoyance. Thinking of Chu Jinan's face, Wu Wei couldn't help but feel uneasy. How could such a powerful figure appear in their small town? And riding a beat-up electric scooter? Could he be playing the part of a wolf in sheep's clothing? Wu Wei shook his head again, comforting himself that it was impossible. It must just be someone with the same name. Otherwise, he'd be absolutely screwed. The tricycle arrived at the nearby community hospital. Wu Yufu yelled at the back, "Get the hell down already. All you do is cause trouble outside every day. When we get home, I'm going to break your legs." Wu Wei entered the hospital gloomily. The next second, he saw two familiar figures outside the consultation room. Remembering Third Wang's words, Wu Wei instinctively turned to leave. But Wu Yufu grabbed him by the collar and yanked him back. "You little punk, what are you running from? Seen a ghost?" Wu Yufu's loud voice drew the attention of the people inside the consultation room. The doctor frowned and looked towards the door. "Keep it down." Chu Jinan also glanced over. Wu Wei met his gaze and forced out a smile uglier than a grimace. Song Yunfei was still having her temperature taken. She instinctively looked over, a trace of surprise on her face. The doctor called Wu Wei in to examine his injuries. Wu Wei sat guiltily on the stool, letting the doctor poke at his face, stealing constant glances at Chu Jinan out of the corner of his eye. After the examination, the doctor asked, "Got into a fight?" No, I fell." Wu Wei waved his hands repeatedly, his eyes even looking much more innocent. Hearing his voice and combining it with his familiar face, Song Yunfei finally recognized him. "It's you." Wu Wei's heart sank. He forced another smile. What a coincidence. Song Yunfei looked at him suspiciously. Why was this guy acting so meek now? Could it be that Chu Jinan had beaten the fear into him? The doctor prescribed Wu Wei some topical medicine for his injuries, telling him to apply it himself. They were all superficial wounds that would heal in a few days. Then he told Song Yunfei to take out the thermometer. 39.8 degrees Celsius. You'll need an injection. Song Yunfei's eyes widened. An injection? Where? Doctor, in the buttock. Song Yunfei, that's a bit rough, isn't it? The doctor glanced at her. Then an IV drip, or I can prescribe medication for you to take at home. Song Yunfei decisively chose the latter. Medicine. I'll take medicine. The doctor didn't say anything else, just started typing the prescription on the computer, advising, if the fever doesn't go down after taking the medicine, you'll still need to come back for the injection. Quote. Song Yunfei instinctively touched her own buttocks, her expression turning resolute. My fever will go down. The doctor was amused by her words, shook his head, and said nothing more. Leaving the consultation room, Song Yunfei sat on a bench in the hallway, waiting for Chu Jinan to get her medicine. At that moment, Wu Wei sidled over. Hey, beautiful. Song Yunfei glanced at him and scooted over a bit. Are you going to ask for my contact info again? Wu Wei waved his hands. No, I just wanted to ask you something. What's your relationship with that Chu Jinan? Song Yunfei grew wary. Why do you ask? Wu Wei put on an ingratiating smile. No reason, just asking. I think I should have heard the name Chu Jinan before. Where did you hear it? Seeing her reaction, Wu Wei's heart sank halfway, but he pressed on bravely. The CEO of Yanjin Group. Before he could finish, Song Yunfei suddenly clapped a hand over his mouth. Caught off guard, Wu Wei was shoved against the wall, the back of his head hitting it hard. Song Yunfei hurriedly withdrew her hand. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Wu Wei rubbed the back of his head, not daring to say anything. He looked at Song Yunfei anxiously. So it really is him. Song Yunfei made a shushing gesture. Shush, don't say it out loud. Wu Wei looked like he was about to cry. Why? Song Yunfei glanced behind her to make sure Chu Jinan hadn't returned, then whispered to Wu Wei. He doesn't want others to know his identity. Why? Chapter 18. What are you crying for? Does it hurt that much? Song Yunfei spun a serious-sounding lie. He just wanted to experience the life of an ordinary person, that's why he deliberately came here. Think about it, what would he do if he found out you were blabbing about his identity everywhere? Wu Wei blinked, letting out an, oh, that suggested he half understood. I get it. Song Yunfei, feeling uneasy, added another warning, so, you have to pretend you don't know either. Don't act differently in front of him, understand? Wu Wei nodded like a pestle pounding garlic. Got it. As if remembering something, Wu Wei added, but didn't they say he was missing? Song Yunfei replied, I already told you, he snuck here to hide from those people from the Chu family. Still don't get it. Only then did Wu Wei have a sudden realization. Oh, I see, now I understand. Don't worry, sister, I swear I'll keep my mouth shut, won't tell a soul. Song Yunfei patted his shoulder approvingly. That's more like it. When he's done experiencing life and goes back, he won't forget to reward you. Wu Wei was immediately overjoyed, so excited he almost jumped. Great, but I did curse at him earlier. That's nothing. He won't hold a grudge. Didn't you already learn your lesson? I'll put in a good word for you too. Only then did Wu Wei feel reassured, not even noticing the pain from his injuries anymore. Sister Song, from now on, just tell me what you need. If I can do it, I won't hesitate. Song Yunfei's heart stirred, and she grinned. Then pay me some compensation. 10,000 will do. Wu Wei's face fell. He stammered, I don't have any money. Song Yunfei was displeased. You drive a Bentley and you're broke. If you don't want to lend it to me, just say so. It's not that. I really don't have money. That car was rented by a few of us together to pick up girls. I only have 500 left on me right now. If you don't mind, I'll give it to you. Wu Wei was just a deadbeat. Where would he get money? When he was broke, he'd sneak back to his own convenience store to steal, getting beaten up plenty for it. I don't mind. Give it here. Song Yunfei didn't stand on ceremony either, treating it as compensation for his earlier harassment. When Chu Jinan returned, he saw the two chatting and laughing. Instantly, Wu Wei and Song Yunfei felt a chill run down their spines. They both looked up to see Chu Jinan had returned at some point, standing just a step away, watching them coldly. Seeing the situation turn sour, Wu Wei stood up with an awkward smile. I'm off, goodbye. With that, he vanished in a puff of smoke. Chu Jinan's gaze shifted from where Wu Wei had disappeared to settle on Song Yunfei's face. Feeling better already? Song Yunfei gave an awkward laugh. Wasn't seriously sick to begin with. Let's go back. She dragged herself to her feet. Apart from a bit of dizziness, feeling weak, and a dry throat, she felt fine. What were you two talking about? Chu Jinan asked, as if casually. Song Yunfei grew alert internally, but kept a smile on her face. Nothing much, he just came to apologize. Did you add each other as friends? Oh, he paid me some compensation. Chu Jinan glanced at her but said nothing more. Leaving the hospital, the two rode the electric scooter back. It was around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, the time when the sun was fiercest. The heat made Song Yunfei drowsy. Leaning against the man's back, gazing at the dazzling sunlight, she drifted off to sleep in a daze. Not completely asleep, she could still hear the outside sounds and feel the warmth radiating from Chu Jinan. She could also feel herself being picked up. In her haze, she heard Chu Jinan calling her. Song Yunfei slowly opened her eyes. The hot air blown by the fan made her feel even hotter. Take your medicine before you sleep. A low voice came from above her. Only then did she realize she was actually nestled in Chu Jinan's arms. Chu Jinan was holding a cup of water in one hand and medicine in the other. He even placed the pill by her lips. Song Yunfei raised her hand, took the pill from his palm, and put it in her mouth. She then took the water, drank a sip, and swallowed the pill. She looked up at the man. Aren't you going to deliver food? It's too hot, don't feel like going. Song Yunfei let out an "oh" and averted her gaze again. Leaning in the man's arms, she suddenly felt reluctant to move away. He carried a scent of sunlight mixed with jasmine, a smell that permeated the entire room. It was the smell of discount laundry detergent from the supermarket, but at this moment, it held a unique and comforting fragrance. It had been a long time since she had felt cared for by someone. All these years, she had been alone. When she was sick, she went to the hospital alone. When she was sad, she digested it slowly by herself. Now, in this unfamiliar world, the sense of loneliness felt even stronger. Especially at times like this, all emotions were magnified. The loneliness was magnified, and so was her gratitude for Chu Jinan's concern. Suddenly, her nose tingled with a hint of soreness. Chu Jinan placed the water cup on a small stool nearby. Turning his head, he heard her sniff. Looking down, the woman in his arms had lowered her eyelids, her forehead covered in fine beads of sweat. As her long lashes trembled, a teardrop silently slid from the corner of her eye and fell onto the fabric of his shirt. His movements froze. Over the past 6 months, he had seen Song Yunfei cry plenty of times. But it was always from unreasonable tantrums, crying in a twisted, ugly way that made people annoyed. He had never seen her cry looking so fragile and pitiful. What are you crying for? Does it hurt that much? Hearing the voice from above, Song Yunfei flusteredly raised her hand to wipe her tears. She kept her head down, her voice muffled. No. Then she found a lame excuse. The medicine was too bitter. Chu Jinan watched her quietly for a few seconds, then suddenly reached out. His hand landed by her eye, wiping away the tear she hadn't fully cleaned. Sleep for a while, you'll feel better once the fever breaks. The touch at the corner of her eye made Song Yunfei's heart skip a beat. She murmured an acknowledgement, left the man's embrace, turned over onto the bed, and lay with her back to him. Outside the window, the sun blazed fiercely. Inside, the fan whirred softly, accompanied by the constant chirping of cicadas. It wasn't noisy, instead, it created a strangely tranquil atmosphere. Song Yunfei drifted into a hazy sleep. Chu Jinan stayed by her side, occasionally reaching out to feel her forehead. Perhaps because the weather was too hot, he couldn't tell if her temperature had dropped. Chu Jinan moved the fan away. It was already hot. Without the fan, the sleeping Song Yunfei was drenched in sweat within moments. Her long hair was already disheveled, sticking messily to her cheeks and neck. She was still wearing the white shirt from the morning, the top 2 buttons undone, revealing delicate collarbones in the hollow of her neck. The fine sweat on her skin seemed to glisten. Paired with her flushed cheeks, it created an inexplicable allure. The hand resting on her forehead unconsciously began to move slowly downward. His thumb brushed past her cheek and came to rest on her lips. Chapter 19. I didn't do it on purpose. So hot. Song Yunfei murmured and rolled over again. Chu Jinan snapped back to reality and abruptly withdrew his hand. He stood up suddenly and strode out to the balcony, where the scorching sunlight shone down at an angle, bathing him completely. It illuminated the panic and confusion on his face. Chu Jinan knew better than anyone that he didn't like Song Yunfei. At least, after losing his memory, he didn't like this woman. Everything he did was merely out of responsibility. More importantly, he didn't want to be a heartless man who used amnesia as an excuse. That was all. By the time Song Yunfei woke up again, it was already night. She was woken up by the heat and hunger. She was both thirsty and starving. She hadn't even eaten lunch, so how could she not be hungry? She propped herself up to sit, and something fell off her forehead. She picked it up and saw that it was a folded towel. Turning her head, she saw Chu Jinan sitting beside her, leaning against the headboard as if he had fallen asleep. The bedside lamp cast a dim light, illuminating his slightly weary face. He usually worked during the day and delivered takeout at night, so he must be quite tired. Song Yunfei didn't intend to disturb him, so she carefully climbed up, preparing to crawl over him to get out of bed and find something to eat. Unexpectedly, just as she moved her leg, Chu Jinan suddenly opened his eyes. Song Yunfei was so startled that she jerked, losing her balance and falling straight toward the floor. Chu Jinan was quick to react, extending his long arm to catch her and pull her back. Consequently, Song Yunfei ended up straddling his lap. The position was a bit awkward, and Chu Jinan's expression shifted slightly. Song Yunfei froze in place, looking at the man before her in embarrassment. I didn't do it on purpose. I thought you were asleep. She spoke while trying to get off him. Whether it was because she was too hungry or had just been sick, she didn't have much strength in her body. Despite shuffling for a while, she still couldn't stand up. Instead, Chu Jinan's breathing grew ragged. Sensing something, Song Yunfei suddenly didn't dare to move. She looked up in shock, staring at Chu Jinan in bewilderment. A flash of fluster crossed Chu Jinan's eyes, but it was quickly replaced by a surging, suppressed undercurrent. The way he looked at Song Yunfei became a bit more predatory and dangerous. Sorry. Song Yunfei scrambled to get out of bed, but the more panicked she became, the more accidents happened. She lost her balance and fell flat into Chu Jinan's embrace. Her forehead bumped into his chest, and Song Yunfei felt like hitting her head against a wall in shame. She anxiously propped herself up, apologizing incoherently, sorry. I'm getting up right now. However, before she could finish, a large hand suddenly covered the back of her neck. Song Yunfei trembled all over and looked up in shock, meeting the man's intensely oppressive gaze. Song Yunfei's heart hammered like a drum, and her fingers gripped the bedsheets tightly. Chu Jinan stared at her for a long time but made no further move. Song Yunfei's heart was in her throat, and many thoughts raced through her mind. Most of her fantasies involved her being tied to an operating table for an abortion or singing songs of remorse behind prison bars. However, it seemed she was overthinking. Chu Jinan didn't kiss her. After watching her for a moment, he let her go. He spoke with a slightly raspy voice, "Be careful." Then, the hand on the back of her neck moved to her arm, and with a gentle tug, he helped her off the bed. "Oh, okay, thank you." Song Yunfei put on her shoes and dashed into the kitchen. Chu Jinan also got out of bed and went to the bathroom. After a short while, the sound of running water came from within. Song Yunfei patted her chest and quickly poured herself a glass of water to calm her nerves. For a split second just now, she thought the man was going to kiss her forcefully. As expected, she had been overthinking. She gave herself a light slap. She vowed to break this bad habit of over-imagining things. After calming down, Song Yunfei clicked her tongue inwardly. Even in that state, he could still hold back. Just how much must he loathe her in his heart? Song Yunfei sighed deeply, feeling profound worry for her future. After drinking a large glass of water, her throat felt a bit better. She rummaged through the house for food and found a pile of snacks, which the original owner must have bought previously. Song Yunfei dumped the snacks onto the table, sat cross-legged on the sofa, tore open a bag of potato chips, and started eating. After a while, Chu Jinan walked out of the bathroom. He was wearing a light grey t-shirt and grey casual pants, drying his hair with a towel. Seeing the pile of snacks on the table, he frowned slightly. He strode over to Song Yunfei and bent down to pack up all the snacks on the table. With a mouthful of potato chips, Song Yunfei stared at him blankly. After clearing the table, he even took away the bag of chips in Song Yunfei's hand. "What are you doing?" Chu Jinan tied a knot in the plastic bag, stuffed it back into the drawer, and looked up at her. "You're sick, don't eat these." "But I'm hungry. I'll go cook some noodles for you." Chu Jinan turned and walked back to the kitchen, leaving Song Yunfei staring at him speechlessly. She didn't really want to eat noodles right now, especially the ones he cooked. Song Yunfei stealthily opened the drawer again, pulled out a bag of spicy strips, and finished them in no time. Chu Jinan brought out the cooked noodles and placed them in front of her. "Eat." Looking at the plain, watery noodles in front of her, without even an egg, Song Yunfei suddenly didn't feel very hungry anymore. "Weren't you hungry?" Song Yunfei reluctantly picked up the bowl and poked some noodles into her mouth. She glanced at the man opposite her. Chu Jinan sat right across from her, watching her eat intently. His wet hair hung over his face, giving him quite a youthful look. Song Yunfei said, "Are you delivering takeout tomorrow? If you are, go to bed early, don't worry about me." "I'm not." Song Yunfei nodded. "You've worked hard for so long, it's good to take a break." Chu Jinan pondered for a moment before speaking hesitantly. "I have something to tell you." Song Yunfei's hand holding the bowl shook, and she couldn't help but feel nervous. She was truly like a bird startled by the mere twang of a bow. She was terrified that Chu Jinan would suddenly tell her he had regained his memory. What is it?" Chu Jinan said, "The boss wants me to move to the sales department." Song Yunfei breathed a sigh of relief. "I thought it was something else." "Go ahead, why are you telling me?" "Chu Jinan, didn't you say I have to report everything to you?" "Oh, is that so? Well, you don't have to report to me anymore. Do whatever you want to do." "Chu Jinan, then I want to buy stocks." Cough, Song Yunfei almost choked on the noodles. She cleared her throat and smiled awkwardly. "Oh, that's a no." Song Yunfei knew he was great at trading stocks. It was what he was most familiar with. The doctor said that exposing him to familiar things might stimulate his memory recovery. Conversely, if he wasn't exposed to familiar things, it wouldn't be as easy for him to recover. Otherwise, would the original owner still be using a broken fan every day? She would have lived in a luxury penthouse long ago thanks to his stock trading. Song Yunfei forced an explanation. 9 out of 10 people lose money in stocks. We don't have money, so don't touch those things. Right now, the most important thing is to work hard and earn money honestly." Seeing his expressionless face, Song Yunfei urged him again, "Did you hear me?" Chapter 20. A Huge Rat. Chu Jinan sighed silently. "I heard you." Song Yunfei felt slightly reassured. This was one good thing about this man, he wouldn't say one thing and do another. He generally wouldn't go back on his word once he promised something. His principles were quite strong. Song Yunfei quickly finished her noodles and went to the kitchen to wash the bowl. It was already 3 a.m. by then. Feeling sticky, she went to take a shower and then returned to bed to lie down. The next day, Chu Jinan didn't go out for food delivery, so he got up a bit late. When Song Yunfei woke up, she found he was still lying beside her. However, there was a vast distance between the two of them in the bed. Even so, one of her legs was resting on the man's leg. Song Yunfei inconspicuously withdrew her leg. She thought to herself that she needed to find another excuse for the two of them to sleep separately again. Otherwise, it was too awkward. Song Yunfei propped herself up and turned to look at the man beside her. Seeing him sleeping so stiff and straight, she couldn't help but think inwardly, he sleeps so peacefully. If he weren't still breathing, one might think he had already passed away to the west. Her gaze followed the curve of Chu Jinan's chest downwards, landing on his grey sweatpants. These thin, loose pants, TSK. They don't look small. What are you looking at? Chu Jinan's low voice came from behind. Song Yunfei abruptly shifted her gaze, looking toward the floor on his side of the bed. Pointing at the floor, she feigned surprise, I just saw a rat scurry under the bed. Get up quickly and look. As she spoke, she also nudged Chu Jinan, acting as if it were real. Chu Jinan sat up in bed, gave her a suspicious look, then got out of bed, bent down, and looked under it. Nothing. Song Yunfei guiltily touched her nose. Oh, it probably ran away then. You didn't see it, it was a huge rat. Chu Jinan gave her a subtle look for a couple of seconds but didn't expose her. How huge? Song Yunfei gestured with her hands, about this big. Chu Jinan raised an eyebrow slightly. Are you sure it was only that big? Of course. Wait a minute. Song Yunfei suddenly caught on, her cheeks instantly warming up. What are you talking about? Chu Jinan said with a straight face, a rat. Weren't you talking about a rat? Song Yunfei's mouth twitched, and she forced out a dry laugh. Yeah, I thought you were talking about the rat too. Chu Jinan didn't continue the topic. How are you feeling today? Song Yunfei touched her forehead and then rubbed her nose. Feeling much better, just my nose is stuffy, a bit uncomfortable. Then you're not fully recovered yet. Chu Jinan got out of bed, first went to the kitchen to boil water with the kettle, and then went to the bathroom to wash up. After he came out, Song Yunfei went in. Then he went to make breakfast and clean up. The summer weather was hot, and even if no one was home normally, many insects would fly in. Every day there would be a pile of small insect corpses on the floor. If left uncleaned for a few days, they would become a dark, messy patch, looking particularly creepy. By the time Song Yunfei finished washing up, he had already cleaned up most of it and had even gone to the kitchen to make her a cup of cold medicine. Song Yunfei gratefully took the cup and thanked him. She tilted her head and asked Chu Jinan, since neither of us is working today, do you have any plans? Chu Jinan walked toward the kitchen. No. What do you want to do? Song Yunfei glanced at the glaring sun outside and suddenly had an idea. How about we go to the mall? Chu Jinan glanced back at her. What do you want to buy? Not to buy anything. Let's go enjoy the air conditioning. It's too hot at home. You're not fully recovered from your illness. I am. Song Yunfei abruptly stood up, clenching her fist to show off her non-existent biceps. Chu Jinan stared at her for a moment, then shook his head, unable to do anything about her. After eating, the two immediately set off for the mall. Just as they stepped out, their neighbor Li Zhao also came out. She smiled and greeted them, going out shopping. Song Yunfei nodded and smiled back. Yes, sister-in-law. Are you going to work today? I'm not. I made plans with a couple of friends to go out. Why don't you join us? Li Zhao was dressed very fashionably today. A purple strappy maxi dress, paired with a light white chiffon sun protection jacket, curly hair, and exquisite makeup. She didn't look like someone almost 30 at all. Song Yunfei politely declined. No thanks, sister-in-law. We're just going to buy a few things and come back. Li Zhao smiled. Alright then. I'll head off first. Come over for dinner tonight. Okay. This time, before Song Yunfei could finish, Chu Jinan interrupted. No, we have plans tonight. Li Zhao's smile froze for an instant but quickly returned to normal. Alright then, next time. After saying that, she went downstairs in her high heels. Watching her graceful figure, Song Yunfei felt a bit envious. However, she turned to look at Chu Jinan. Why didn't you agree? Do you have some issue with Brother Wang? Chu Jinan didn't answer her question and went downstairs first. Let's go quickly. The sun will be even stronger later. Song Yunfei pouted and jogged to catch up. The electric scooter headed straight for the mall. After parking, they entered. The air conditioning in the mall was really strong. As soon as they entered, Song Yunfei shivered from the cold. It was still early, and there were empty seats on the benches in the mall. She quickly pulled Chu Jinan over to claim one. Then, the two of them just sat there staring at each other. Diagonally across from them was a women's clothing store. It wasn't a big brand, but it was a well-known one. The cheapest item started at over 1,000, but there were many beautiful styles, and quite a few people went in to buy. Looking at those beautiful clothes, Song Yunfei could only sigh with longing. Chu Jinan noticed her staring intently at the store and asked, Do you want to go in and try some on? Song Yunfei pouted, No. We don't have that much money. Chu Jinan said, Money can be earned. Rent is due soon. If we buy clothes, we won't have money for rent. Besides, spending thousands on one piece of clothing isn't worth it. I'll buy lookalikes online later, 100 for 3 sets. Song Yunfei said nonchalantly. She didn't really care about these things, clothes just needed to be wearable. Chu Jinan pursed his lips, looking at a couple inside the store. The man had one arm around his girlfriend and said grandly, Baby, pick whichever set you like, hubby will buy it for you. You're so good, baby. Not long after, the man walked out, holding 5 or 6 shopping bags in one hand and his girlfriend with the other, chest puffed out proudly. Chu Jinan turned to look at Song Yunfei. She was also staring at that couple. Chu Jinan silently withdrew his gaze, took out his phone, and turned it on. He tapped to check his balance, 223 yuan and 80 cents. He silently turned off the screen again, clenched his phone, and lowered his long eyelashes dejectedly.